The Gospel of Jesus Christ according to St. Matthew. Mount 5:43-48. At that time, Jesus said to his disciples, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be children of your Father who is in heaven. For he makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet only your brothers and sisters, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Father is perfect. Love like the sunlight of God." A healing reflection based on Mount 5:43-48. 1. When the heart carries wounds. Dear friend, we live in an imperfect world. Often, what wounds us the most are not grand tragedies but rather careless words, thoughtless gestures, or even the silence of someone we deeply love. Sometimes we simply cannot understand why someone would hate us, misunderstand us, turn their back on us, or even betray us, especially when we've done nothing wrong. At times, it feels as if we are wandering through a barren desert of relationships. Those who once felt close become distant. Those we hoped for end up disappointing us, and those we helped respond with indifference or even hatred. In those moments, pain silently gnaws at our hearts. We feel confused, angry, even tempted to strike back. Deep within, a voice cries out, "How can I love the one who hurt me?" It is a natural and human response, because our instinct is not to love enemies. But Jesus, the one who brings God's love to the world, says something startling. You have heard that it was said, "Love your neighbor and hate your enemy." But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Mount 5:43-44. A hard teaching, but one that leads to true freedom for the heart. 2. Light shines for everyone, not just the good. Imagine this. Every morning, the sun rises, and its light does not discriminate. It does not shine only on the righteous and ignore the wicked. It does not warm only gentle hearts and forsake the sinful. The sun's light reaches everywhere, no matter who, no matter where. Jesus shows us the heart of God. God makes his sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous. Mount 5:45. If we are children of God, we are called to love as he loves, without conditions, even for those who have wounded us. It's not easy, but it is not impossible. 3. A flower amidst hatred. In a small town after World War II, an elderly mother had lost her only son, killed by a young enemy soldier. The pain and bitterness she carried were heavy and deep. One day, that same soldier, now a changed man, came to her home. Hoping to apologize, the entire village told her to send him away, as his past seemed beyond forgiveness. But the woman did something no one expected. She silently went inside, returned with a white flower, handed it to him, and said, "This is the flower I planted on my son's grave. If my son were alive, perhaps he would forgive you. Today, I give you this flower and my forgiveness." The soldier broke down in tears and knelt before her. Dear friend, a single flower cannot erase all pain, but it can be the beginning of healing. Love, when no longer imprisoned by hatred, can revive what once seemed dead. 4. Forgiveness is not forgetting, but choosing not to retaliate. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean the pain is gone or that what happened didn't matter. Nor does it mean allowing the one who hurt you to continue harming you. Forgiveness simply means choosing not to become like the one who hurt you. It means saying, I will no longer let this pain control me. There's a famous story. A Japanese Zen master was imprisoned during the war, accused of being a spy. In prison, he was tortured, humiliated, and lost everything, but when released, he never expressed hatred. Someone asked him, "Are you not angry at those who mistreated you?" He smiled and replied, "They imprisoned me for 3 years. If I hate them, I let them imprison me once more, inside my heart." Forgiveness is freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness. 5. Wounds become places where light enters. Saint Paul was once a fierce persecutor of Christians. He approved the killing of Stephen and terrorized the early church. Yet it was in this very man, a former enemy, that God carried out a great conversion. If the early church had not forgiven Paul, if Christians had not believed that light could shine even in darkness, how would we have one of the greatest apostles? Love can do the unimaginable, because it comes from God. 6. The path of be perfect as the Father is perfect. Jesus ends today's gospel with a bold invitation. Be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. Mount 5:48. Perfection is not about being flawless, it's about loving fully. Perfection is not a destination, but a journey, and that journey always begins with love, the kind of love that doesn't discriminate. That doesn't set conditions, that gives without keeping for itself. You don't need to change the world in a day, but you can change how you treat one person today. You don't have to forgive every pain at once, but you can start by saying a prayer for the one who hurt you, so that your heart becomes lighter, and light can begin to enter. 7. Seeds of hope in a softened heart. In a dry, barren region of Africa, people believed nothing could grow. But deep beneath the cracked soil, there were seeds waiting. One small rain, and suddenly the whole field bloomed with flowers. Our hearts are the same. They may have closed up from too much pain, but one drop of love, even a small one, can awaken hope. Today, God invites you to sow that seed. By forgiving. By praying for the one who hurt you. By refusing to answer hatred with hatred. 8. Prayer, a bridge between opposing shores. You may not be able to love your enemy by your own strength, but you can begin with prayer. That's what Jesus teaches. Pray for those who persecute you. Prayer helps you stop seeing others through the lens of hatred and start seeing them through the light of mercy. One elderly woman shared, "I used to be so angry at my daughter-in-law. She insulted me badly, but I started praying for her every night. Not because I'm good, but because I don't want to die bitter. Slowly, my heart softened. I can't say I love her yet, but I don't hate her anymore." Prayer is how your heart opens, so healing can enter. 9. Love, because you deserve to be free. Ultimately, you forgive and love not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve freedom. Hatred keeps you chained to the past. Forgiveness sets you free to live in the present. You cannot change the past, but you can choose not to live in its shadow anymore. Love is not just a feeling. Love is a decision not to let darkness win. Conclusion. Your sunlight. Dear friend, in this world, so many people live in the cold shadow of rejection, bitterness, and fear, but your heart can be a place of warmth. Like the sunlight of God, your love can reach the unreachable, forgive the unforgivable, and heal the unhealable. You are not the source of that love, but you are its bearer. So today, shine, not because others deserve it, but because love, when given freely, is always the most divine act of all. Let your sunlight rise.